Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. So penny stocks, any cards, $5 or less. These are the best selling cards on Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Player. So, obviously, you guys could check this on your own time. That's what's great about this style of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch. And I also noticed that a lot of people usually just talk about real expensive cards. Like this $140 card is now a $150 card. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's just not the move. For me, that's just not the move. And so if you guys do like this content, make sure you guys let me know by clicking that like button and that subscribe button. If you hit that dislike button, nobody else will know because YouTube changed it, and that's kind of stupid, but that's okay. Let's just get to the best selling cards under $5 right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is one to watch out for. I talked about this last week. I talked about all kaijus, but especially this one. I know we're seeing it dip down in price. I think it said the market price was 99 cents. It really took a dip last week, but it's getting to a spot. These 10 are gone. It'll be over these 10 as well. It'll be over $2 though relatively soon. And all right, so we got here at 15. The thing you want to look out for with these type of things are situations like this. Right, it's going to be a while before Flutter Guy Games sells all 34 copies of this card. But if someone comes by, takes those, you got the Card Haven as well. It's just this is the big one right here. So that's going to take a while, right? So the 260 line. So it's probably going to be a $2 card for a long time. But there is going to come a situation where this card ends up being more expensive than it already is. Brothers of Legend just came out. I don't want to spend too much time on Brothers of Legends considering all of the top 3 cards are from Brothers of Legends, and then we have another card right here, also from Brothers of Legends. But it is interesting to see. Allure Darkness, Gadarla, these are cards that, no matter the printing, I think this is actually the cheapest version of Allure Darkness, and I think there's definitely more than 5 versions of Allure Darkness. Yeah, the cheapest version of Allure Darkness is the Brothers of Legend one that just came out. So this is another card to keep an eye out for. But like I said, Brothers of Legend just came out, and if we just look at it as a whole, you look at Brothers of Legend as a whole, it's actually a relatively decent set. You look at these 3 reprintings right here, very solid reprintings. I like the Starlight Rare Leviathan Dragon. If it ended up becoming good, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Microsoft Edge. The Karibo decks came out from here. Red Eyes Fusion reprint, not the greatest, but the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, that's super duper cool. So Brothers of Legend in general is a pretty decent set, and it has more than enough penny stock targets for sure. It's just something to keep an eye out for, something to keep your mind on, right? Let's take a look at this card real quick. This card, you're okay. Depending on where you are at, when it comes to spending money, I mean, so this guy's got 780, or girl, has 787 copies at $3.95. Now, obviously, it's on the more expensive side, but it's really not. It's actually only 4 down, right? Once those 787, how much would it be to buy that out? How much? I'm just out of pure curiosity. How much would that be to buy that out? $3,108, as well as 65 cents. That's before taxes and shipping, which I don't think there would be shipping. Yeah, it's free shipping on orders worth $35. So there would be no shipping, so it would just be taxes. And some states don't have taxes. But the point that I'm trying to make, if my ban list prediction video, which you guys can go ahead and check that out on my channel, or other people's ban list prediction videos, if some are correct and some are wrong, Sword Soul will probably get hit, right? Sword Soul is the best deck in the room. Not going to do another ban list discussion video, to explain why it probably will get hit. But that's just something to keep in mind. And it's definitely possible that Tri Brigade won't get hit. If Tri Brigade Lyricist doesn't get hit and Sword Soul does, this card's going to just skyrocket in price. And that $3,108 price mark to get rid of these cards is going to see kind of laughable. And once we get past that 787, a lot of people have 1 or 2 copies at $4. And then we keep going to just the third page. This person's holding the line with 8 at $5, 7 at just under $5, and then we get to number 4, and that's where we start to see the $5, $6 mark already on page 4, and we're seeing $6-7 mark. This is definitely something to keep an eye out for. We talked about it a lot on the penny stock market watch, but as the ban list season's approaching, decks that aren't that great right now might be great soon, right? We look at Cursed Eldland. That's another example. We look at both versions. One's a little bit over the $5 marks. We won't be talking too much about that one. But this version, also from a set that just came out, Maximum Gold El Dorado, it was $15 for a while, and it barely. Actually, if I just bought this right now, it's no longer a penny stock, right? Because it's at that $5 mark, which makes it just above it. So this is another archetype. I don't see a situation where Eldritch gets hit on the ban list. So this could be, as well as like Mystic Mine. Just be on the lookout. Like this is what I'm trying to say with Harpy's Featherstorm, Curse Eldland, with even Torn Scales from the Megatons, and then other Eldritch cards. Whatever archetype you think will be benefited most by the ban list, whether that, because the ban list is coming. The ban list isn't going to come out until January 17th, 2022. And I remember when I heard that all the way back in October, it felt like that was so far away. Well, that's a month away, right? A month and 4 days, right? That's a month away. So it's coming, and this is the season. This is the time frame. 1 month in advance is the time to go buy those cards. I'm gonna keep it real. This isn't a penny stock, but it actually is something I wanted to talk about. I bought this just for an example. I bought this card, right? And you guys can let me know in those comments down below if you guys want me to look at possible good targets for cards that are on the ban list. I bought this card, right? And we won't talk too much about that because this is a penny stock market watch. But this card searches that card, right? And right now, it probably wasn't going to come up because it's not under best selling, right? Because these two are the commons. This is the more popular version, different things like that. These could all no longer be, these will all, not could, excuse me. These will all no longer be penny stocks if Maxi comes back. The fact is that you have a very solid tier 2, tier 3 strategy in insects that has multiple different ways of searching Max C, but it has the best way of searching it, which is Retaliating C, which is a hand trap in and of itself, and then you can effortlessly get away with it by linking it off into a bunch of different insect link monsters, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. It's just like a little added bonus. I don't think Retaliating C is going to be one of the best-selling cards here, but it will be one of the best-selling cards under $5 if Max C comes back, and that will only be for a brief moment. So something to keep in mind. Next card we're going to talk about, Rescue Cat. This also just goes back to Tri-Brigade. Now, I will say this. Be careful investing in Tri-Brigade. My ban list prediction had just the Revolt being hit. Konami might go stronger. There's a thing Konami likes to do when it comes to the ban list where it doesn't hit newer decks, right? Even though Sword Soul is the only deck that I think genuinely needs to get hit, Tri-Brigade is probably the prime target because it is one of the better decks that's also, at this point, a bit older. We look at some of the cards, some of the versions of Rescue Cat that are under $5. This is actually the only one that appears to be under $5. I'm trying to see if that's for near mint, though. Near mint, $4.45, but 78 cents. So this is actually not. So this is the only version of Rescue Cat right now that's under $5. And second page, yeah. Once you get to the second page of this, you're already looking at that $5 mark. I mean, $44.99, right? And that third page is officially that $5 mark. So at the end of the day, there's 47 copies. I mean, they're light plays, but I'm curious to see how different light plays look. Don't go crazy on this card. This card's got a lot of hype around it right now. The set did just come out, right? And if Tri-Brigade, you're gonna have to play it's a risky game. Like this one is this one's horse racing. This one's roulette because okay, if the Lyricist package of Tri-Brigade gets hit, the Rescue Cat version is really good. This is no longer gonna be a $5 card. If the Tri-Brigade part of Tri-Brigade gets hit, Rescue Cat doesn't really have a deck that it's good in. This is a $2 card or a $1 card, right? It's like I said, it's the roulette table. Always bet on black. Well, it could end up being double zeros, right? It's essentially gambling. Now you're not gonna lose a bunch of money if you go crazy for this card, but it's possible. I'm predicting. However, the ban list goes, it will cause this card to have a $1 to $2 swing, if not more. And I know that sounded really generic, $1 to $2 swing, if not more. But I could see it fluctuating, going down to $1 if Tri Brigade gets hurt really bad. But if it doesn't get hit at all, it could be a very solid pickup right now at $3.50. Then we look at some other cards. I'm curious to see. Let's just talk about Effect Veiler real quick. I think the reason why Effect Veiler is so good right now is a lot of the best decks do struggle against it. I think a big reason too, is Verite Anaconda. There's a lot of decks that are just able to make Verite Anaconda now almost effortlessly, and Veiler just says no, right? And the thing with Veiler versus Imperm is that Veiler's better late game, mid to late game than Imperm, right? Because Imperm is no longer a hand trap, it's just a regular trap card, and it is a solid trap card just overall, but like, it's essentially a breakthrough skill. Like, I understand it has the secondary clause, but it's essentially a breakthrough skill if you have any cards on the field at all. And Veiler's not like that. Veiler's the same regardless of the situation. Now, we look at all of these versions. We'll just talk about the ones under $5. This is so interesting. MCO40 talked about this one. There's a possibility you might stumble upon this Noble Knights of the Round Table set. Wow, that is crazy. I remember when like these were at Barnes and Noble for $15. That's what happens when you get old. Stuff that used to be cheap becomes expensive. It's crazy. But anyway, we look at other versions. I've always liked the gold rare version, but that's obviously also over $5. A lot of these are under $5. I'm trying to see. It's literally a dartboard, throwing at a dartboard blindfolded to try to predict which one of these is going to be the next one over $5. Let's look at the non-common versions under $5, because that's a pretty limited version. We got the Dual Devastator one right here, which is currently the best-selling one, by the way, as well. We have the super rare version, but that's got a market price of $5.45. Heavily played for $2.91. Heavily play, light play, near mints for $4.95. That's essentially over $5. Anyway, yeah. So as a matter of fact, okay, there we go. We got another one. So we got these two. These are the only two versions of Effect Veiler that are under $5 for near mints and are not commons. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So this is technically there's two copies of this card. Probably by the time you're watching this video, I've already bought these cards. But there's two copies of this card that are under $5, right? And so the ship might have sailed as far as a penny stock is concerned with this. It could still potentially be a good buy, but at that point, it's no longer a penny stock, so we're not going to talk about it on the Market Watch. So could this version, this ultra rare version from Dual Devastator, could this be a good target? This one's also really close. This one's also knocking on the door. We look at this one is, if I'm good at math, $3.49. This one's $3.99. This one's $2. It's a light play though. It's getting really close. We have this guy's got 414 at 4,092. It's like, why is he in my cart? Oh yeah, because I bought all those cards. Well, I'm not going to, but this has 65 versions at $4.89. Let's take a look at Dual Devastator, because I feel like this box is really good. You have the Ash Blossom, but even after Ash Blossom, this is technically no longer a penny stock, but it is still, it's like, Solemn Strike has always hugged the line of that $5 mark, which is why we never end up talking about it. on penny stock market watch because it's always like all versions of it are like more at least or like usually $5 or more. I mean, you got these two for $4. Um, but Dual Devastators got you want to talk about penny stocks. If you're trying to find like okay, so because the main point of penny stocks isn't to just like buy a play set of a card. It's to buy a bunch of one card and go from there. If you're looking for a way to spend $50 on a penny stock, I would just get the Dual Devastator box. You're gonna get Ash Blossom. That's gonna take care of a lot of it. So then you have about $30 more. Let's say $35 more that you gotta get rid of on top of that. And this Gamma Seal is gonna be worth a lot. The DD Crow, Super Poly, D Barrier, like every single card so far is relevant this format. This one's not as much. This is kind of the ending right here. Red Reboot actually isn't that bad. We've seen Heavy Storm Duster be utilized in trap heavy decks. We see Ghost Reaper get used sometimes in decks like Floanderies. We, Different Dimension Ground I've always been curious about. Tornado Dragon's a good just card to have. I like Book of Eclipse. Very underrated. Pankratops is a good side deck card. That's kind of the end of it. Trishula is always nice, but there's like 600 copies of Trishula. That's kind of the end of it right there. So you're looking at about half of this set has very valuable penny stocks. And like I said, if you're just trying to find a play set, just trying to find, you can go ahead and do that. But this Dual Devastator version of Effect Veiler is what brought us here. And this is the highest selling version of Effect Veiler, the Dual Devastator version of Effect Veiler. And I still see this box roaming around, right? And so you got to think 20, let's say this is 4, so that's 24. Let's say it's 19, right? 19, 23, 28, 30, 35, 37, 39. I wish I was better at 42, 44, 46, 48, 49, 51, 52. So you're looking at just from the first 2, 5, 8, 11, a lot of math here today. 14. You're looking at just from the first 14 best-selling cards. You're looking at making your money back immediately, right? So then I sell those cards, and now I have an Abyss Dweller or a Heavy Storm, and I can sell all of these for pennies, right? And for 25, 30 cents, and it's just all profit. If I can sell one of these, it's just profit. Or the fact that I got these, it's all free. Like literally, you can think of it that way too, right? Okay, so if you can't sell them, if you're able to sell all of these just at their market price, not even above, just at their market price. Let's assume that you're not a great salesperson. You sell them at their market price or whatever value I was just giving them, right? And we stop right here at Dimensional Barrier. Then you just got an Abyss Dweller, an Inspector Border, a Red Reboot, a Sahira Skull Dread, a Lost Wind. Lost Wind's a very underrated card. Heavy Storm Duster, a Ghost Reaper for free, right? There's some really, these are, even though they aren't very meta, like Vanity's Fiend is a solid card. Vermilion Dragon Mech is a solid card. Topologic Bomber Dragon is also a solid card. Forbidden Graveyard is an underrated card. Majesty Scene is an underrated card, right? This page, Forbidden Apocra is underrated as well. Spell Canceller, if you're able to summon it, is a decent enough card. And so the fact is that you could get those cards essentially for free. Now, you may already have those cards, but the point that I'm trying to make is that if you're able to get a hold of Dual Devastator, that is actually a really solid penny stock set. Obviously, you need to be able to sell the Ash for $20 to really make that the money back on that. But it's just something to keep in mind. But let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in those comments down below. If you want me to do a special edition, a banless edition of the Market Watch, let me know in those comments down below as well. Click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. But most importantly of all, as always, have a good day.